Hello, everyone. Time for another great tale. Go grab your seats and popcorn. And let's start with I, 37 male, divorced my wife, 35 female, after she got cancer and cheated. My ex-wife and I were married for 10 years when she got cancer at 33, stage 1 breast cancer. She had a hard time, but with surgery, she got through it. I took time off work to look after her and was with her the entire time as we had moved away from our family. I noticed that she changed a lot after, which is expected, after going through something so major. She wanted more from her life than just a 9 to 5 job, so ended up quitting to travel for a bit and just doing whatever she wanted. At first I went with her because I wanted her to be happy, and this reminded me of her younger self. But that kind of lifestyle blew through our savings. So I went back to work and basically funded her new lifestyle. While it was exhausting, I didn't care that much because I loved her, and seeing her so happy and full of life after everything she went through was good enough for me. However, one day I heard her talking to her friend over the phone about not feeling satisfied with just me and that she wanted to sleep with other people. I was shocked and didn't know what to do, especially since our sex life had become much more active during that time, so hearing her say that was horrible. That evening she brought it up and said she wanted to be in an open marriage. By that point I had enough time to think and realized there was no way I was okay with that. She explained that I was her first boyfriend and that she had never been with anyone before me. We met in high school. So she wanted to try being with other people. I told her straight that I was not okay with that. We argued for a while, but she eventually said she wouldn't do anything and that she was sorry. Fast forward, she lied, and I caught her a couple of weeks later. Then we divorced. It was hard and I was completely broken during the whole thing, and it took me a long time to heal. I couldn't believe that after everything she could do that to us and throw away 10 years of marriage. It's been nearly 2 years after the divorce now, and yesterday she contacted me through a friend asking to meet up. I was reluctant, but agreed. Seeing her again today brought back so many feelings. We small talked for a bit, then she asked me if I was seeing anyone. I said I wasn't, and then she started saying that divorcing me was the biggest regret of her life. After we separated, she went through a hard time and tried to fill my void by seeing multiple other people, but nothing worked. She then dropped a bomb. She wants to get back together with me. She had actually been asking around about me before this, and when she found out that I hadn't been with anyone since our divorce, she assumed I felt the same way. I left feeling dumbfounded and saying I needed time to think. I genuinely don't know what to do, because there's a part of me that wants to believe she did all that, because of everything she went through, but at the same time, I don't think that's an excuse. Should I give her a chance to explain before I make a decision? Because I feel like I walked out on her before she could. She regrets divorcing you, but not cheating on you? What the hell? One would have to be an absolute fool to take their cheating ex back. You took care of her, provided for her, and she repaid you by cheating. After being passed around, she knows no one cared about her as much as you did. So now she wants to come back to her safe option, thinking you will take her back. And what happens if she gets bored again? And now to the update. I really didn't expect this many people to reply. To cut things short, she found out I forgot she was an active user of this sub, and the events lined up enough for her to know it was me. I woke up to a message from her this morning. She said that she saw and was so sorry. After seeing what I wrote, she got to see my side of things, but the thing is, she really didn't. What I put out here is a fraction of what I felt and went through, so she'll never really know. She also said that cancer is a life-changing thing, and the fact that I stuck with her would be something she was eternally grateful for. The whole thing terrified her, and it changed her as a person. And one day when she woke up next to some dude and looked over and realized she had become a completely different person, one that she didn't recognize, she realized what she had done and how badly she messed up. At first, she didn't want to contact me because she knew that would be selfish. But then she didn't want to live with regret by never trying in case there was ever a chance I would forgive her. She's willing to wait forever if it means I could forgive her. She also asked why I hadn't been with anyone since her, and a lot of you mentioned the same. To be honest, I didn't actively try with other people because I didn't want to bring all this baggage into a new relationship, especially not before I had tried to fix my issues. And I think this is good closure for me. After seeing a lot of your replies, I know there isn't really a chance for me to forget what she did, but I do want to forgive her as a way to move on. I messaged her all this before replying here. She now realizes that sleeping around is not as fun as she thought it would be. And her question about why OP hasn't been with anyone? Well, OP did everything right, and she still cheated. Why should he make the same mistake again? And next, another interesting story titled, Am I the a-hole for not coming to terms with the fact that my wife cheated on me 14 years ago before our marriage? I, 35 male, have been married to my wife, 37 female, for 11 years and together for 14. We have a beautiful 7 years old daughter, and our marriage has been great without any major problems until last year. Last year, I learned that my wife cheated on me before our marriage. One of her friends became religious and confessed her actions to me, which had me confront my wife. She was shocked that I learnt it and apologized profusely about her actions. However, she said it's not something important now because we have been going strong and have a family together. She told me I should come to terms with it since it happened 4 months into being exclusive, and she was a stupid girl out of college back then. My mind told me the same. It happened 14 years ago, and we are happy right now. I decided to forgive her and continue our usual life. Reality was not that great. My mind took a big hit. I realized it's not something that happened 14 years ago for me. The cheating happened for me when my wife confirmed it. I was less confident, could not have sex with my wife. I just could not get an erection for her. I even took a DNA and STD test secretly. Thankfully, our daughter is mine, and I am clear of STD. Then a year of intense individual therapy started for me. I realized I needed to change somehow. I was not the same person I used to be. I also communicated my feelings to my wife, and after pushing a bit, we started going to couples counseling too. However, at the end of everything, I decided to proceed with divorce. Here are my reasonings. She not only cheated back then, but lied to me for 14 years. She did not confess the action herself. Even though she apologized, she dismissed the fact by saying it's not important anymore. Young me was robbed of having a choice. Cheating was, and still is, one of the biggest deal breakers for me. If I knew it back then, I would have broke it off. I am happy with my life, and I'm glad that our daughter came into the world. She is the light that shines the brightest for me, one of the biggest reasons I keep living, but I still was robbed of a choice back then. Individual counseling and marriage counseling could not end our problems and my feelings towards her. It also started affecting family life, which could affect our daughter. I think our daughter would be better off having us as co-parents instead of living in a broken family environment where consistent arguments are present. SEX life is basically dead for me. We do have sex, but I feel like those women on film and series that just lay and look at the ceiling waiting for it to be over. The only difference is that I am a man. I don't even want non-sexual gestures anymore. Last week, I had a sit down with my wife and explained everything I wrote here in detail. My feelings, reasoning, and some other private things. I have been talking to a lawyer for the last month and papers are almost finalized. 50-50 custody, 50-50 asset sharing, and as amicable as possible. I explained everything thoroughly and clearly to her. She freaked out and had a panic attack. We spent the night at the ER. She is begging me to reconsider and not throw away 14 years. However, even though I would like to stay, it will result in us being roommates and a broken family environment for our daughter. Am I in the wrong here? Not the a-hole. She cheated on you and hid it for years. The way she dismissed it shows she is not truly remorseful. Even if it happened 14 years ago, it's still all new to you. You have lost trust in her and are miserable in this marriage. It's better to leave. And now to the update. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for their ideas and input about my situation. Some people reached out to me on Reddit chat to state their opinions, and we had long talks. They have been incredibly helpful, and I want to thank them especially. Some people asked if we went to counseling together. Yes, we have been visiting a counselor for over a year now, on top of my individual therapy. I understand blowing up a marriage for something happened 14 years ago is not logical. However, my feelings towards my wife got even worse after counseling and therapy. It started with not being able to trust her, converted to not wanting sex, then not wanting non-sexual gestures, and finally, I am not even comfortable to be in the same space as her. We have been less than roommates in the last couple of months. I do not hate or resent her, but I just cannot shake off the feelings. I would say I forgave her, but it's not about forgiving anymore when there are no feelings and love. I do not want my daughter to grow up in such an environment. I know how hurtful it can be. I experienced a similar situation with my parents, only the genders reversed. Living in such an environment breaks you as a child and teen. I would have much preferred if my mother just divorced my dad instead of staying for my sake. That being said, I had a long talk with my wife this morning. She has not been eating much since visiting the ER, and I am concerned for her well-being and safety. Some Redditors who reached out suggested considering separation before proceeding with the divorce and see if my feelings would change. That is very logical, actually. I proposed this idea to my wife, and she was happy to hear it. I have an upcoming business trip to the Netherlands next week, and I am planning to extend my stay and stay with my sister once I am back. Wife abruptly suggested one-sided open marriage, and I can do what I want on that business trip if it'll save the relationship, make us even and change my feelings. I rejected it because it has nothing to do with that. Even if it changed something for me, it would devastate her knowing I cheated on her in the future. It's not something easy to get over and not an easy decision. That is all the update. We'll try separation for a while, and depending on the result, I'll make my decision. Thank you for all the help and opinions. Lovely. Isn't it the consequence of her actions? From telling him to get over it to now, begging him. If she had acted right earlier, things would not have gone this way. Instead, she chose to dismiss him. And the second update, I have a short update about the situation. I got back from the trip and decided to divorce my wife in the end. The last straw was when my daughter told me I look more lively and happier after I came back. I realized I am better off without my wife and just co-parenting our daughter with her. I still feel incredibly uncomfortable around my wife. My wife did not take the news well and is going down the spiral. I called mother-in-law and father-in-law to have them take care of her. She caused some problems. She sent threatening messages to her friend who told me about the cheating. I had to beg her to not sue my wife as I want my daughter to have a mother present in her life, though she'll probably be taken to a mental ward. She is not well. Last time I saw her, I felt scared looking at her eyes. Our daughter is with me now, and we've started the divorce process. My lawyer told me if my wife is to be taken to a mental ward, there is a good chance that I can get better than 50-50 custody. One should be happy hearing that, but I am just devastated how it'll affect our daughter. Many Redditors said in the comments that dating life after 30s as a man is not good, and I'll probably be forever alone as no one will want me. First thing is, I do not care. Our daughter is my first priority, and dating is the last thing I have in mind right now. Second thing is, I am confident in myself in every regard to finding friends and a partner. I think this sums up my update. I will be back maybe in a year considering how long divorce process takes when it's not amicable. Thank you. OP, don't listen to those idiots. Actually, men's prime starts at 35. A stable, fit, career-oriented guy would have no problem dating in his 30s. And the third update. It's been almost 2 months since my last update. People have been asking about an update, and here is one. My soon-to-be ex-wife is doing much better. As far as I know, she is on antidepressants right now and started her own therapy. Also, she has a good support system around her, so she is fine. Our daughter was with me most of the time, and we spent a lot of quality time together. We have been taking her to a therapist, too. She is taking the separation much better than we expected. She is into drawing, painting, and we have been practicing together. She has won first-place award in a local competition in her age group, and I am super proud of her. As smart as always for the divorce, my wife agreed to an amicable divorce. We gave the documents to the local family court, and will have the court seeing next month as scheduled. 50-50 financial assets and 50-50 custody, 80-20 at first. She wanted to see our daughter only on weekends until she's in a better place. After that, we'll convert to 50-50. It's more desirable for me, to be honest. I want to have our daughter in equal time with her mother. I'm staying at our house currently. I'll buy the share of my wife from her and she'll stay at her parents for now. They are very close to our house, so it's good. My wife is planning to rent a separate place around the same area in the future. Time is passing, and life is going on somehow. I am also in a much better place mentally and emotionally. I am on amicable terms with my wife, and as long as we are not living together, I do not feel uncomfortable as I did in the past. Not much drama, just life being life and everything finding its own place with time. OP, you are a good man and a good father. You did not try to turn your daughter against her mother and prioritized her well-being. You handled everything perfectly. Wishing you good luck on your next chapter of life. Viewers, what do you think about these stories? Let us know in the comments. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.